What is up, Daily Crew? As someone who had a very popular series on this platform for a long time called Tinder Terrors, where I told some of the most insane dating stories, I am very well versed in choosing poorly, and I had to do a lot of self reflection and a lot of therapy to figure out why. Why was it that I kept repeating this pattern, ending up with people who were awful, these explosive relationships that burned bright for a short moment and then exploded. And I'm here to pass on some of the knowledge that I got. So maybe you guys can make different choices. Now, I'm going to preface this. This is going to annoy some of you. You're going to get irritated by some of this stuff. I also got irritated by some of this stuff as I was learning it. But I promise you, I'm not blaming you for what that person did. You cannot control what another person does. They have free will. But you can control what you do. You can control your choices. And I always tell people who seem frustrated over dating, why do I keep choosing these people who are awful for me? I don't know what is going on. And I tell them the same thing every single time. The right person for you is on the other side of your own healing. There are reasons why you choose to be with those people, because while they have free will, so do you. And as you start to heal some of those things about yourself, those people cease to exist. I mean, they exist, but they kind of walk up to you and they're like, hey, and I'm like, nah, I'm gonna pass on that. I've been down this road and I learned the lesson. And that's the main thing is, say you have had these relationships that haven't worked out, learn from them. So I'm going to tell you some of the main reasons, me personally, and maybe you identify with it, or maybe you can add to it so we can help each other communally make better choices when it comes to romantic partners. I mean, this could honestly apply to any sort of relationship, but we're going to focus on romantic partners for right now. One of the biggest things that I had to work on is my self-esteem. It was in the garbage. And because my self-esteem was low, and part of that, and it explains why, was because I was trying to find validation outside of myself. And that's not self-esteem. That's esteem. Esteem is how other people view you. Self-esteem is how you view yourself. Because I didn't view myself as worthy of much, a person who was discardable, I chose people that I had to prove myself to. I felt like in order for me to be with someone and to be valuable to that person, I had to do some sort of action. And that action caused me to change who I was in order to be the version of myself that person would accept. And then I could look at that person and say, hey, that person wants me, therefore I have value. But I'm telling you now, you have value just from existing on earth. You already have value. No one else is going to make you valuable. It's all about how people see you. I always use this water bottle example. You go to a grocery store and you get a water bottle for $1. You go to an amusement park and they have those vending machines in line. Water bottle there, same water bottle, $5. Then you go to the airport and a water bottle, same product, will be $8. Nothing changed about that water bottle. It's just in some places that water bottle is more valued. And it doesn't mean that you don't have value. It means you just need to go in the places that value you. And so what I was trying to do was fit in instead of belong. I was trying to fit into the narrative in that relationship. And that's a Brene Brown quote. She goes, the opposite of fitting in is belonging, because fitting in requires you to change aspects of yourself. Belonging, people just see you and accept you and embrace that person. So please don't change or audition for the love of those people. Also, another thing I had to work on majorly was boundaries. people can sense when someone lacks boundaries. If you are someone who attracts narcissistic types over and over again, one of the things that they love about people with low self-esteem or people with people-pleasing behaviors is that they know they can walk all over that person. Because a boundary can get challenged, and that's why you set a boundary. Often people think, oh, I'm telling that person, you change this behavior or else. That's not a boundary. That's an ultimatum. A boundary is saying, this behavior is unacceptable to me. If this behavior continues, then I'm going to remove myself from you. And then it allows the other person to make the choice if they're going to change their behavior or not. Now, say you say, I don't want you to do said behavior, and then they do said behavior, and you don't remove yourself? Well, that's not a boundary. That's a gate. A boundary stops people. You have to enforce the boundary for the boundary to be respected. So one thing I do know from dating narcissistic types, I won't diagnose them as narcissists, but they hate no. They hate a boundary. Ooh, that boundary makes them shake. They hate it. Another thing that was also kind of connected to the self-esteem thing was it was like a challenge. I wanted to see if I could get that person. If they're tough to get, well, again, if I get them, that is, I'm incredible. Look at me. But then you also have to deal with the fact that they're not, they're not a great person. And I'll leave you with this one too, because this one sounded counterintuitive when I really thought about it. Before I really thought about it, rather, is the need for control. You choose people who are awful because you need to control. You hear me out. Not done. So you see a person who comes up to you. You're smart. You understand what it is. You understand the type of person that they are. Maybe they have a reputation. Maybe you know previous behaviors. You know who you're getting yourself involved with. And for that reason, you kind of know the outcome. If someone is not going to treat you well, then the outcome is generally going to be this relationship is going to go poorly. And it's this self-fulfilling prophecy that you are setting yourself up for. So when the relationship eventually becomes abusive or fails, you can go, see, I knew it. I knew it the whole time. But you knew it when you first started. You knew getting involved with that person that they weren't going to be someone who was going to treat you wonderfully. I know there's like so many other things, but those were the main things for me. So let's break down actionable steps. I want you to make a list of your non-negotiables. These are, they can be superficial things, but they're supposed to be core things that if even one of these things is not in existence in that relationship, you walk away from it. Something like, can I trust that person? Do they have a good communication? Are they a respectful person? Leave in the comments. Tell me what some of those non-negotiables. So look at your relationship if you're in one, or look at the relationship you're looking to get into. Look down this list. And if these basic things, these are things that you need in order for you to feel secure in your connection with that person. If they don't exist, it's time to walk away. Next, I want you to make a list of who you know yourself to be. Because often when you're involved with people who are unkind or narcissistic or manipulative, they're going to try and change the narrative that you know to be true about yourself. Gaslighting. They're going to try and change your reality to match the one in which you are more easily manipulated. So often when this would happen, I would go, well, obviously they wouldn't be saying this if there wasn't some truth to it. So I'm going to investigate, which is fine, but don't take it as truth. Don't take it as gospel. I want you to look at this list, who you know yourself to be. And I want you to go down that list. I was like, well, this doesn't match that. Say there could be a possibility of it matching. Take it to the next level, which is talking to people who truly know you. People who know who you are at your core, and are not yes people that are going to give you straight up feedback as to if they've seen these behaviors. So if you don't know it about yourself and your close circle doesn't know it about yourself, you're much harder to be manipulated in that situation. And then finally, learn your no, learn your boundaries, what you're willing to accept, what behaviors are allowed in your life. And once one of the behaviors that isn't on that list starts popping up that's a problem for you, communicate. Be like, hey, this doesn't work for me. I don't enjoy this. How do we navigate this? And if they're willing to work with you, that's a really good sign. And if they're not, that boundary setting in the beginning will make them go slow in the beginning, set boundaries, say no. If they walk away, it's okay. Let them fly. Let them go. Because that party is like, oh, I can't lose them. I can't lose them. What are you losing? What are you actually losing? Ask yourself that question too. Got a lot of homework for this one. I'm really enjoying talking to you guys again on here, so maybe it'll be a regular thing. But yeah, leave me some comments telling me what maybe some things that I didn't mention in this. Tell me about your non-negotiables. Tell me about what you'd like in an ideal partner and what you know to be true about yourself. And we can workshop this and hopefully all make better choices. If you haven't, make sure you subscribe. And I will see you guys all in the next video.